y'all doing? Thank y'all for tuning in to the channel once again. I'm Corey, and this is the His and Herbs High Desert Homestead channel. All right. She's just not feeling so well today, so she's gonna join us later in a different video, right? But so today I wanted to address something that's pretty significant in the high desert, and that's going to be the heat that this place always gets. All right. It seems like you can water all you want, but if you're not mulched and if you don't have something to protect your garden beds from that heat, it's kind of pointless to even water that much, right? You're going to just be wasting a lot of water. So in today's video, I wanted to walk you guys through our process of creating hoop houses for our raised beds. It's going to be really simple. I'm gonna try to do everything that I can to not skip a step. I'm gonna try to talk my way through everything so you guys can know exactly what it is that we're doing, and also make sure that you have a list of all the tools that we use, all the materials we use, and how much they cost. And this is kind of like an emergency situation because this week, so far in the last couple of days, we've had 101, 99, and today was 104. All right, so that's really hot. We had to come out yesterday. We didn't come out in water during the day. No, what's today? Wednesday. So we didn't water. We skipped a day. We skipped Monday. So we fed Sunday, we skipped Monday, and then I came out here Tuesday, and this stuff was like, it was all just like the leaves, everything was down and looked really, really dry. So trying to prevent us that in the event that we do miss a watering day, that it doesn't get to that point again. So like I said, we're gonna build our hoop houses, and we're gonna take you along for the project. All right, cool. So let's go. All right, so in terms of materials that we're gonna need, we're gonna try to keep this short, sweet, and simple as much as I can. Some things that I got, you don't necessarily have to get. So let's go over the things that you will need first, okay? So with that being said, you will need a measuring tape, right? These are galvanized tube straps. We're also gonna need PVC. This is the 1/2 inch 40 schedule 40 PVC. That's very important. The reason why is this offers a lot more flexibility than maybe another schedule, another type of PVC. Last thing for materials, you're gonna need some screws. And these are just 1 inch, number 10 flathead wood. These are wood screws, obviously, but flathead Phillips. As far as tools, well, I guess the measuring tape technically classifies as a tool, not material, but you need a measuring tape. If you don't already have one, you're gonna need to pick you up a drill. Additional things that I bought was markers, so when I make my measurements, I know where to cut. And then some zip ties. These are gonna be used to tie my bars to the hoops, right? You'll see what I mean by that once in a moment. And I'm sorry, one more thing. At least you want this right here. These are I forgot the actual term for it, but I think they're just PVC cutters. They're just PVC cutters. That's it. And this thing right here, listen, it's 13 bucks. If you're gonna be cutting PVC, get this thing. It saves a lot of time. It's really simple to use, right? Look at that. You just squeeze it like scissors. It closes around the PVC, and then at this point, the PVC's cut and it pops right off, right? Then when I want to reopen it, I just separate the two, just like this, and it opens right back up. So squeeze to close, and then pull to open the blade back up. Now, just real quick, for those of you who don't know, because I swear I didn't know until about, I don't know, maybe a week ago, I used to see people with hoops all over their beds, PVC piping all over their beds, right? These hoops, and I was like, what are they using them for? Like, I didn't know why. In my mind, I was like, maybe they're using it for like a mini greenhouse over the bed. Come to find out, yes, that's what they're used for. So if you don't know what the hoops are used for, they can be used to convert your raised bed into a greenhouse. You know, its own little self-sustained greenhouse. Or in the case like what we're doing today, So if I'm using if I'm making it for a greenhouse, I'm gonna tend to use the mill plastic, the mill 6 plastic, either greenhouse plastic, or you can get the painter's plastic from Home Depot or Lowe's. It's gonna work the same way, basically. But you're gonna wrap that around your hoops and make it into a greenhouse. But I'm not worried about that right now because it's hot. I'm just trying to protect our vegetables and everything from the heat. So I'm gonna use shade cloth. But this is the last thing that I forgot to talk about that we're gonna be using, because we're not using, like I said, I'm not worried about the plastic and making it into a greenhouse. I'm worried about keeping the heat out, actually. And this is shade fabric, sunscreen fabric, sunshade fabric, whatever. Block sun and heat. It's a 6x15 piece. So I may be able to cover, I don't know, I may be able to cover maybe 2-3 raised beds with this one, because my raised beds aren't very long. They're 2 feet wide and 4 feet long. All right. So now with that being said, without further ado, let's go. Okay. Just. So the first thing I want to do is once I have my using my raised bed, the first thing I want to do is I want to put my bracket down so that I know where I'm going to be putting my hoops. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the entire raised bed and do the same thing, right? But I'm going to put my bracket there, and I'm going to mark it there and there, so I know where my holes are going to be. Then I'm going to bring it down a little bit, where I'm going to put my second bracket, and I'm going to do the same thing there. Boom, boom. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side and all 4 corners, so I know exactly where to drill my holes at for my bracket. And that's it.
Synthesis. 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 Synthesis.
Okay, so now when we're building our hoops, the first thing that we need to do is we need to get the measurement from the outside edge to the outside edge, right? Now I'm gonna measure a little bit more in here because my hoop is gonna sit like right here, the center of my hoop, right? So I'm going from the outside to the outside, and that's about 31.5, right? Just under, like 31.25. Okay, so now in order to find the accurate hoop size that you want to build, you're gonna have to use pi. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take 31.25. Well, actually, when we did it, we did 31.5, right? We did 31.5 divided by 2 times 3.14, and that gave us 90. Okay, guys, so I used the pi formula to come up with the amount of arch that I wanted to put in the hoop, right? Unfortunately, when I do the 31.5 times pi, it gives me 98 inches. But then when I do the, 15.75, it gives me 48 inches. So the 98 is too much of an arch, and the 48 is not high enough. So what I'm gonna do is, by my own assessment, I'm gonna go with about 74 inches. 74 is gonna give me the amount of arch that I feel comfortable with, that'll give the greens enough height, enough room to grow and upward and outward as they need it. So that's what we're going to go with. We're going to go with our arch of 74 inches, and we're going to start putting the hoops on the beds now. Okay, guys, so now that I got the measurement for my arches, I want to go ahead and measure out my PVC, right? So I said I'm going to go with 74 inches. So I'm going to measure that out. Got my 74. Mark that. Then we're going to cut. And I know you guys are probably like, why is he wearing so many different shirts? We had so many we had audio problems on one, video problems on the other. And I'm like, I'm not gonna record this thing 4 times, so I'm just kind of filling in the gaps from what we didn't record right the first time. So I'm gonna cut, at least bring it up so you guys can see it. There's my mark right there, if you can see it. Oops, not too far. Let me put my PVC cutters on that mark, on that line. And then I'm gonna that's it, easy. So now, when I place it on my hoop, see it's cut? I'm gonna just slide it into the hoops, into the straps, just like so. And there it is, right? And I think this hoop is good enough to give me good distance from the greens to the top, so they have some a considerable amount of distance to go to get to the top and out to the sides. So once we cover this with the fabric, the greens will be good to go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna use this piece here as my top portion here, but I'm gonna put it on the bottom like this. Right? I'm gonna use this to kind of add a little bit more stability and allow for whatever fabric that I'm gonna hang to bear most of the weight here, so that it doesn't collapse in the middle. Right? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drill a hole in both ends of this tube, and I'm gonna zip tie it to these loops. Right? All right, so I got the 2 holes drilled in that one piece. So now I'm gonna take my zip ties and I'm gonna put them in just like this. I want this one on the bottom. I just think it looks better. You can use string, you can use shoestring, yarn, whatever it is that you have to use, that's what you use, right? I just decided to go with the PVC. With the zip ties. All right. Voila. There it is, right? Adds a little bit more stability there. And when I start to drape my cloth over, this is gonna keep it from sagging in the middle. It's about 43 and a half inches, right? So I want 43 and a half inches width, but I want 70 inches length. So I've already measured out my fabric of where I'm gonna cut it. So now I'm gonna just cut it and hang it over so you guys can see how it looks in the end. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, but that's it. That's all I have for you guys today. Hopefully somebody can gain something from this video in terms of how they can build some kind of hoop house or shade shelter for their garden. In the wintertime, stuff like this is going to come in handy because you can build your own greenhouse over each individual raised bed, or you can do one large high tunnel with the same, basically the same premise that we just did for the raised bed. So hopefully you guys found value in this video. If you did, please make sure you give us a thumbs up. Leave us a comment. Let us know. Hey, if this wasn't a clear enough explanation as to what I did, if there's something you like, you didn't like, let me know. Let me know. I'm always trying to get better at stuff like this, right? But aside from that, subscribe, thumbs up, hit the notification bell so you'll know the next time we drop a video. And we will see you guys on the other side. All right, y'all take care. Love y'all. Peace out.